Hello everyone and welcome to episode 7 of the Sonic Boomcast. And we got a lot to talk about today. Our guests for this week are our usual Angelidia, aka Lidice Garcia.
Hello.
And a fan of the show and who I meet every couple of, at least once a year at San Diego Comic-Con, Johara Finley.
Howdy!
I noticed on your Facebook, you go to for someone who lives in San Diego, and considering I'm closer to Disneyland, a lot closer to Disneyland than you are, you go to Disneyland quite a bit during the year, huh?
Yeah, I do. I go a lot. I'm saving up for a annual pass because I'm going to be going a lot with my friend.
Yeah, that would make a lot more sense. I mean, the best thing to do is buy a annual pass where you buy like a one-day ticket. I think it's like $80 or $90, and then that's how you pay for the pass, is to buy mostly for one day, and then they give you a monthly subscription. Sometimes it's like $25. And
yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go.
It's much more efficient that way. It's much more cost effective.
Yeah, once I get my ticket that costs $150, I'm gonna go to the ticket window because I heard it would lower the price. That way you can make monthly payments.
Yeah, it's much better that way. And hey, so sometimes you go like 2 or 3 times a month, it seems like.
I know.
Do you take the train there? Is that how you go?
My friend Hannah drives.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be a long drive because, for me, it's like 45, maybe half an hour to 45 minutes. Sometimes even just taking Harbor Boulevard. But yeah, that's a long drive for something that frequent. I'm surprised.
I know. My friend Hannah, she fills up her car and we just go and for me, we split the cost up for gas. She would she basically I would treat her to something like a Starbucks or ice cream instead of paying her,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, let's get into the show and talk about some recent news. There's been a recent 1 gigabyte patch added to Rise of Lyric on Wii U. It fixes a few things. It gets sort of a Knuckles infinite jump, even though that's kind of been made canon on the show now.
Oh, yeah.
And smooths out some of the frame rate issues to make the gameplay a little smoother. Doesn't seem to work that well on spiral loops and that. You still got that jitteriness, and I think that comes from more camera issues than frame rate issues. I think it makes the camera jitter, possibly. That could be what I think it is on that. But it also keeps some of the areas where you'd fall from the ground, that keeps that from happening. But not all glitches have been fixed. There's still areas where your AI character will still be just jumping up and down for no reason in the background. You'll have areas where the geometry, there's invisible geometry you can actually stand on that's still in there. So it's still not perfect, but at least they've worked on a lot of the major game-breaking issues that were wrong with that game.
That's good.
Yeah. Woo!
I haven't even touched it ever since I started playing the Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and Hyrule Warriors.
Oh, I love that game. That game is awesome.
I am going to freak out if I can't get the Sonic the Hedgehog Amiibo that comes out this month.
I'm going to snag for that like crazy. When it comes out, I'm just going to push everyone off the way and grab it.
I've been reading reports Best Buy or Toys R Us canceling pre-orders from certain Amiibo's characters. I'm like, I hope it doesn't happen to Sonic. Well, at least that's the least of a problem.
Yeah, I couldn't even get in and out of pre-orders. I tried to pre-order from GameStop last month. It was already filled up.
Oh my!
So it's bad.
I had trouble getting the Majora Mask new 3DS limited edition. I'm like, no, it's a pain.
I love my 3DS. There's nothing wrong with mine.
Well, I'm glad the new 3DS with the Control Stick D is coming out real soon, because my poor old 3DS XL, the right corner, you probably heard of this this happening to a lot of people. The right corner's got a big crack in it, and that crack is getting wider and wider. Yeah, I keep having to press in the R button. From now, I've got the practice of holding down the R button when I open the 3DS just to keep it in one piece.
Yeah, my 3DS XL is perfectly fine. I had it for a year now. I haven't dropped it, cracked it, banged it against the wall. Because I have a case for it, so just if I want it to, if it does hit the ground, the case will just, protect it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for mine, both the standard size and the XL, I've been taking really good care of them.
Yeah, everyone's saying, "Oh, you should get the new XL, dude." You're like, you should get. I'm like, I like my 3DS because it's in perfect shape.
Well, I'm a big Monster Hunter geek, so I got to get the new 3DSL just so I can have that C stick for camera control on Monster Hunter.
Can you transfer all your data to the new 3DS?
Yeah, just the same as you could do with the other 3DSs or the DS to the. I couldn't do the DS to 3DS, I don't think. But yeah, transfer data, and I think it's a little less tricky than from Wii to Wii U. You recently did the transfer data from Wii to Wii U, huh?
I heard you had to have an SD card, and I don't have one.
Okay, yeah, I'd recommend then just getting yourself an SD card. They're dirt cheap, and once you do that, the transition is not too hard, and you get to watch. It's great because you get to watch little Pikmin take your data from the Wii down into the Wii U.
It's like awesome, man. It's like you get to see the little Pikmin do your work for you.
Yeah. It takes a little while, but at least they keep you entertained. That's something Nintendo's really good about.
It's like slavery.
I would say that.
Yeah.
Anyway, on to the new Sonic Boom episodes. We got 3 to talk about since the last time we were on the air, because there was a good month and a half where we had nothing but reruns. Even though they were only 8 episodes in. First one is probably my second least favorite of the ones that have been coming out so far, Guilt Tripping. In this one, Sonic saves a tribe called the Gogobuzz from some thieves, and they want Sonic and Tails around to protect him, so they try to guilt trip him into staying on their little island for as long as they can.
Oh my gosh.
That's one of my favorite ones because I could actually relate to the guilt tripping part.
I know. My favorite part is when Sonic was like, "Oh, we should just go now."
Yeah.
That part when they have to do each other, like guilt tripping each other, and then there's the tumbleweed thing.
Yeah, that was like out of a Western or something, except it's a guilt trip.
Right.
Then of course Eggman at the end.
Oh my
saves
god!
The show. He's always hilarious.
I know. We should get Mike Pollock on here.
It's hard to get Mike Pollock for an interview. You have to have a certain amount of time to do that and everything, and he can only do like a one-on-one interview for about a half hour.
Not to mention the time zone.
Yeah, I did an interview with him about a year and a half ago for Sonic.
Oh, I talk to him once in a while.
Oh, you mean did you chat with him on Facebook, you mean?
Yeah, chat with him on Facebook, and then he recently gave me his number. It's weird. He gave me his cell phone number.
He's really open with the fans. That's one thing I really like about Mike.
Yeah, the thing about it, Lisa Ortiz doesn't Skype with fans, and that's what she told me.
Yeah, Lisa Ortiz, former Amy Rose from Sonic X.
I know, it would be nice to have her on the show, and, it would be really cool.
Yeah, she was awesome in that role. I think Cindy Robinson's is really stepping up, though. She's doing a really great Amy Rose now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She used to. Speaking of, it was talking about Mike Pollock and Eggman. The second one is Dude, Where's My Eggman?
Where's Eggman?
Which was loosely based off Dude, Where's My Car? Where we got Orbot and Cubot, who have woken up with no memories, and Eggman's missing, and they're looking all over for him.
I never did watch the Dude, Where's My Car?
Dude, where's my car?
Well, it's just a
I never
stoner
seen
comedy.
it.
It's not really worth picking up that much, I don't think.
Oh.
Yeah, there's some
I guess I
great
didn't
moments in this, especially Knuckles' interpretations of how they defeated Eggman. He goes flying off, and the girls are all swooning over him and everything. He goes Super Saiyan on him, and we get a really good look at the villagers this time around and the village itself. So we get to see a lot more citizens. Get to see some cop who's constantly spitting out his coffee. The walrus with the sideways tusks, so he's kind of shaped like Eggman. I think they screwed that particular scene up when they were trying to bust Eggman out of the jail, and he ended up with the walrus. Because I believe in that part. I bet if you had the what did they call those things? The strips that they use for storyboards. I bet if they saw the storyboards, there'd be some area where you saw a silhouette of the character just as he was coming out, and this Eggman-shaped silhouette, and then you see the walrus. Somehow they kind of screwed that up, and he just walked right out so fast you didn't have time to just see the silhouette. He just walrus that kind of looks like Eggman.
I see.
But then we also had a character who will be a main villain in about I think it's next week's episode, Circus of Plunder. The wolf, Barnum T. Wolf or something like that, I think his name is.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, the Orban and Cubot are trying to sell the Eggmobile to make money for get Dr. Eggman out of prison,
For the bail.
He just steals the whole Eggmobile himself. And we get another great scene with Amy Rose trying to raise charity for penguins, pink sweaters for baby penguins.
Oh, yeah.
Which is the most useless charity ever, but...
Well, you gotta like admit it's kind of cute.
Yeah.
The penguin with the sweater.
I really love their interpretation of Amy. She's not just like this boy crazy, teenage girl who's violent with a hammer and everything. She actually is very, caring and loving person. She's always doing these charities, and she even, doesn't want Dr. Eggman hurt, even though he's always trying to kill them.
I know, and she is like, so gaga. Oh, she's over God. She's so gaga over Sonic still.
Well, she still has a crush, but she keeps it secret, which is quite a different approach. I kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
And we got Cowbot, which I call what's the name of that one? Can an evil genius crash on my couch part 2, basically, because a lot of the beats that happen in that episode happen in this episode. You have like Stick saying some crazy random thing. You got Eggman having a robot that backfires on him and attacks his building. You got Eggman, Sonic, and Tails just hanging out together for quite a long time.
Yeah.
There are some great moments in this, though. It shows that there's a part of Eggman that actually just wants to hang out and be friends with people, but he's so evil he can't get past that part of him.
Right.
I remember the evil cookies.
Oh yeah, and Eggheads. That's a classic one.
Yeah, but the secret recipe he has on his chocolate chip cookies, it's just garlic.
Yeah, even his hot chocolate has garlic in it.
Garlic. Oh my gosh.
Ew.
Yeah, and then I especially love the beginning with it, where it's just Sonic and Knuckles playing around, throwing each other at a coconut tree just to see how many coconuts can drop off.
Yeah.
You never see have a moment with them just horsing around doing nothing but playing around. So that was kind of cool. Plus, you get confirmation that Knuckles is still from Angel Island, even though he doesn't really live there anymore.
Right.
Kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I like Eggman's little remark. Hey, Sonic, bro to bro, what's up with you and Amy?
That's probably one of my favorite lines that I heard so far.
Yeah, Sonic's just looking at his face like, uh-oh. He doesn't want to mention anything about that. But yeah, that was a pretty good episode. I think so. I like how the whole thing with the cow is that it's incredibly slow. I mean, the only threat in it is that if you blow it up, it's going to blow up a 20-mile radius. But other than that, it just moves like at a ridiculously slow pace.
Well, it is a cow, after all.
Then next week we got the Circus of Plunder, and a few more. There's going to be about a month's worth of episodes, I think, after that. I don't know if they're going on hiatus anytime soon, though. Now, as far as non-Sonic Boom news goes, we got more details on Sonic Runners. There's a Japanese trailer, which doesn't really show any gameplay. It just has one screen taken from, I think, the title screen of the game.
Yeah.
And it's basically going to be a automated 2D runner like a Cobalt or Rayman Jungle Run or ones like that you might have played. And so basically you'll be just tapping to jump or maybe holding to do something else. Holding, down on the screen. There's going to be lots of different power-ups. There's going to be Chow. There's going to be Wisps. The Mother Wisp from the DS Sonic Colors is in this for some reason. And apparently it's supposed to come out in Japan later this month. And there's no U.S. details for it, though.
No.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Since Sega of America is not making, games for the consoles anymore,
I think they are. It's just that they're cutting back on it for quite a bit. But I don't think they're going to completely leave out the console business itself. I mean, they're still bringing some Japanese titles later this year. Fighting Climax is coming out in the summer, and there's a new Hatsune Miku game on the 3DS. And there's a
I really need to pre-order those.
5, I think, is coming digitally for the PlayStation 3 later this year. I mean, they're still doing console ports. They're just cutting back a lot and mostly focusing on PC and mobile because that seems to be where they're the most profitable right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes some sort of sense. It makes sense, I guess.
So what was the rest of your question?
My rest of my question was that is Sega of Sega of Japan, are they going to keep making their console games, or are they also cutting back, or?
I don't think so. I think it's mainly Sega USA. The one thing I'm surprised is they're cutting down on the arcade division, and it's actually something that's always been profitable for Sega in Japan. It could be they're just going to be importing less arcade games over here. I think the most recent one is a light gun shooter based off the Transformers, the movie franchise. Or a turret shooter, I should say.
Oh.
By the way, did you see if you ever get down again to by Disneyland? A little further south is Round One Arcade in Puente Hills, and that always carries the most brand new video arcade game straight out of Japan.
Nice.
Oh,
and
right.
They have the Transformers game there. They have Let's Go Jungle. They got a lot of really cool brand new arcade games there, including a Sega UFO catchers as well.
No.
Yeah, I haven't been to Round 1 in Puente for over a year now.
Oh yeah, I just went last week. They had one of the crane machines had these little Monster Hunter toys. And it was only 2 credits for play, which is 50 cents, which is super cheap. So and basically all I did was scoop it up a little bit and push it towards the edge. And so for I think less than $5, I managed to snag me one of the toys out of it.
Nice.
I kept waiting around for them to refill the thing, and they never did.
Does anyone?
Yeah, that is an absolute blast. It's my favorite arcade ever.
Oh, Jason, about Sonic Runners, I noticed that from what I've seen on the website that whoever downloaded gets a free item.
Yeah,
in Japan,
if you do some kind of pre-order thing or pre-download early, you get a golden flying pig of some kind. I don't know what it does. But that's another thing. Going back on Sonic Runners, also Otani from Sonic Colors, Sonic Unleashed, and Sonic Lost World is composing the music for this. It's going to have brand new music, and it seems like Sonic Team is putting a lot of effort into this game, and it's making me wonder if we're going to have a actual console Sonic game this year.
Amazing. Does anyone know this guy named Alexander Tamali? Tamali?
Tamale?
Yeah.
Tamale?
It's Tomalty.
No, why?
He has like every single Amiibo character and Amiibo. He pre-orders a lot. He's pre-ordering a lot of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, are we thinking about Mario the Plumber?
No.
I was gonna say because that was ended up being a false story about him trying to stab every Rosalina.
I know.
Well, speaking of the Amiibos, that reminds me I need to get over to Frank & Son's warehouse tomorrow to check for any. It's a collector show place. It's open every Wednesday night and Saturday morning around here. It's like a little Comic-Con basically.
Oh, nice.
Right.
Yeah. It's like a Comic-Con that's open like 2 days a week all year. And what's interesting is on Saturdays, a lot of times they have big celebrities. 2 weeks ago, they had like Roddy Piper and Stan Lee doing signings there. Yeah.
I've heard that Comic-Con might be like after 2016.
They've been offered like a lot of big offers, and San Diego's trying to keep them because they are a big revenue for San Diego.
Yeah,
but a lot of residents, they're not quite happy about it.
If like Anaheim got it or something, God, I would love that.
Oh man.
But if you think about it, like after what happened, all the cast from the Twilight series, it became really crowded after that.
Yeah.
Well, it started becoming crowded when Arnold Schwarzenegger first made an appearance, and it started becoming less about comic books and fantasy than it became about like big media and movie previews and stuff.
Yeah, when I went to Comic-Con, I ran into Will Ferrell. It was awesome.
Yeah, you're going to meet a lot of celebrities. Well, you're not going to meet a lot of them, usually, unless you're at a panel, but sometimes you bump into a few.
One time I saw Elijah Woods.
Yeah, like one time, me and my brother, on our way to San Diego Comic-Con, we usually stop off at this Denny's that's just off the freeway by this military base. I think it's the same one that did you say Shane and Charles are probably live nearby? That's two of our friends.
Yeah, the Camp Pendleton?
Yeah, Camp Pendleton. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
it's
that's the one.
Over at Camp Pendleton. And we were sitting down eating our breakfast, and my brother looks behind me, and behind me, sitting on the next table over, is Stan Lee and his brother. Which is just awesome. So we're having we're having breakfast right next to Stan Lee.
Did you say anything?
Yeah, well, my brother did. He was saying how much he admired him and everything.
Oh,
and
wow.
Basically, Stan Lee's brother, in case you don't know, Stan Lee still writes the Amazing Spider-Man comic strips that are in the newspapers.
Mm-hmm.
And his brother's one of them who does the art in that.
Stan Lee made a cameo appearance in Big Hero 6.
Yeah. Yeah, which is kind of weird because he had nothing to do with that comic, and that became a Disney property, even though it was based off of Marvel.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They cameo him as much as they can nowadays. He was even in Peggy Carter 2 weeks ago. That is an awesome show, by the way. If you guys haven't seen that one. So yeah, basically it's a Sonic Runners is a free to play game. But there's going to be, of course, a lot of... it's probably going to be a timer base where you can't play after a certain amount of time or you run out of energy or something like that, kind of like Sonic Jump is. Plus, there's a lot of microtransactions and items to buy. And considering it's got Chow and Wisps involved, I imagine you're going to have to pay for them for extra powers and abilities.
Oh, my...
They did a pretty good job with the Chows in Sonic Jump... Rush, or what was it called? Sonic Jump Fever. Pardon me.
Oh, I played Sonic Jump.
The original Sonic Jump is a little different, it's level by level, it's almost story based. And there's one world where you do a lot of levels. Sonic Jump Fever is basically an arcade game. Practically, where the themes change after every few days, and you're trying to go for a higher score to beat your friends with. So it was good for me for like 2 or 3 months, but when everybody on Facebook stopped playing, there was no reason for me to keep playing that game.
Oh.
Before that, I was just really
for me, because I have a really weak Android phone and I don't have a tablet, so I miss them playing those.
Next on our topic list was the decline of the Sega of America. There's been a lot of bad news coming out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Recently, they're moving out of their San Francisco offices to quote-unquote Southern California, and we don't know what that means. It could mean, they'll be neighbors with you, Jahara, over in San Diego.
Really?
Or they could be in L.A. around here.
Well,
all we know is it's Southern California. Most likely it might be there with Atlas and Irvine, because they own Atlas now.
It makes sense if they move next to Atlas.
Yeah. But unfortunately, they had to... I'm sorry, you were saying something?
Yeah, if they did move like in the downtown area, like San Diego, how would that affect everything else?
I don't know. I mean, they'd operate the same. I don't know what that means.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, they could still have a strong Comic-Con presence probably if they were in San Diego, because they'd be right there.
It could be.
But, it's like, hey, it's a Sega building. Awesome!
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool if you got to walk by that on your way to work or what have you. But sadly, there's going to be a lot of layoffs. There's a lot of voluntary retirement, quote unquote, that they're having to do. And unfortunately, that means all the community staff is going to. So we'll be saying goodbye to people I've met many times, like Kelly Parker and Stephen Frost, Julian Medfield. And that's really sad because I really like those people.
I wonder what they're going to do.
Me too.
Well, right now they're just, checking out other job opportunities.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like the cough drop didn't help much.
And Aaron Weaver, he was the best.
Yeah, he actually left earlier this year, I think in the summer. I mean, maybe it could. I have a strong feeling it's a case of he saw, the ship kind of sinking ahead of time and abandoned early or something. Because it's unusual for him. He didn't work on the Sonic Boom, Rise of Lyric project and all that ended up being Stephen Frost, the producer's baby for that as far as promotion and stuff. And before that, he was the brand manager on Sonic, so it was surprising to see him go on that.
Yeah, he just Keely told me everything what happened, and I told her, "Oh, I'm really sorry that happened." Keely said that Aaron was like a little brother to her.
Yeah, it's really sad that he left, but I don't know. Maybe it's just I have a strong feeling he probably just saw the writing on the wall and wanted an opportunity, somewhere else, or maybe they just didn't have anything for him at the time.
It could be.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on that, but it's sad to see them all go now. Now they're going to be concentrating more on the PC and mobile markets because that's where their biggest strengths are right now. Like they put out Valkyria Chronicles on PC and it became number 1 on Steam for a really long time. And they said the Football Manager and Total War are just making really good bank for them right now. And the mobile scene is doing really good business for them as far as like Sonic Dash, Crazy Taxi City Rush, and in Japan, games like Chain Chronicle, which actually you can get here too. That's actually pretty good. I actually ended up downloading that thanks to watching an episode of Sega Hard Girls, where the girls in the anime were sucked into that game and playing that. I'm like, okay, this one looks like fun. I'll try it out if it's available. So that one's pretty good. So yeah, I guess mobile is the most profitable right now, it seems like, in the video game industry, which is getting kind of sad because a lot of that's just it's either crappy games where you gotta flesh out the good stuff, and whatever is good stuff, you still gotta do a ton of microtransactions. You probably pay a lot more than if you paid for a full game.
Right.
I'm gonna miss because a lot of people saying that Sega's not gonna make console games anymore. Like they're not gonna, like that's yeah.
I was just talking about. I don't think that's completely the case, but I think they're going to tone it down a lot.
Well, here's the thing, because
they already are. I mean, look at E3 last year. They had Alien Isolation, Sonic Boom, and Hatsune Miku, which is just an import.
Yeah. Well, think of it this way, because if you guys remember the history of video games, like back in the crash was in the 1980s, where everybody is suffering. It's a similar scenario here. I mean, right now in this era, in which survival of the fittest, and who's able to adapt. And Sega, they're trying to adapt in order to survive. So, if they're really strong in the PC and mobile games, they just have to focus on that.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the other things they said is they're going to be reinforcing on Sonic and merchandising, and I guess reinforcing the quality on Sonic games in the future.
Oh, man.
Because I think one reason they're saying that is because Rise of Lyric was just like a huge bust for them. I don't think it did very good at all.
Yeah, I just hope they make more Sega games in the future, if, anything.
Well, I'm sure they will, but I'm betting about half of them are going to be imported from Japan in some way.
Oh, so like if they do make games, that the games from Japan will come to America, so that's how it's going to be for now?
It could be. I mean, in Europe, they have to rely on third-party publishers bringing Sega games over there.
Mm-hmm.
Like Sonic Lost World was published by Nintendo in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's the same with Rise of Lyrics. It's a Nintendo game in Europe as well. Mm-hmm. Also, if you look at Bayonetta 2, Sega didn't even publish that anywhere, even in Japan. That they gave the rights to. While they still own the license, they gave the rights to publish to Nintendo. So they still got their name on it, but Nintendo's the one who reaps the profits from that.
Mm.
Although I'm sure Nintendo makes a little money off the Bayonetta license for the deal.
Mm-hmm.
But it's more safe. I guess it's more of a safe bet for somebody to pay you to publish a game than it is to risk publishing a game and have it fail.
Yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, on to some a little bit more Sonic Boom news. We got the issues 3 and 4 of the comic book have recently been released. Now, I really like the third issue with the. I forget what the name of the title was, but it was about Amy's missing hammer.
Right.
That one was really great. I love Jennifer Lopez. Well, not Jennifer Lopez. So what's her name?
Hernandez.
Jennifer Hernandez. Yeah, her art's really good in it. It does make everybody look really adorable. But anyway, it reminded me so much of a regular Sonic Boom episode where it ends up nothing really happens in the story.
Yeah.
Basically, she loses her hammer. In the meantime, Styx tries to have her try out different weapons, which almost kills Styx and Knuckles in the process.
Styx.
Of her trying them out.
I love Styx. She's like a little. She acts like a little sister in the crew.
Yeah.
She's so cute.
Yeah, even though she's a bit crazy. We'll get to that.
She is so crazy.
She is.
She loves shiny things. She is very crazy. She loves shiny things. Like, if you take a shiny thing away from her, she'll just, like, attack you. Like, I want to give me the shiny.
That's kind of more Bean, I think. But anyway, yeah, so in the meantime, while they're trying out different weapons, it ends up... Sonic and Knuckles and Tails are looking all over for the hammer. Ends up it's in Eggman's big boy mech. Cubot and Orbot fish it out, and they start fighting over it because they call it their precious.
They're precious.
Perfect form and function, I guess, on the hammer. And the whole time, Eggman's thinking they're getting the robot ready to go. Instead, they're constantly fighting over this hammer. So before they end up throwing it at one another, I guess, or something like that, and it ricochets and hits a lot of the areas off the big boy, and once they try to launch the big boy again, it immediately falls to the ground and just gets destroyed. They didn't even get one step out of the door without the hammer destroying it without them even being there. And at the same time, while the hammer's ricocheting, it ends up flying out of the robot and right into Sonic's hands. It's just perfect, and of course Sonic takes all the credit for it, even though it was just a coincidence. I think my favorite scene of that was just her trying out the different weapons and like the bow staff, and she's smacking into Tails and hitting Knuckles with it and everything. That's like an old school joke with like the large planks where people are turning around like what and hitting somebody else with it.
Yeah, I remember the one part of episode of Sonic Boom is when everyone was voting to I guess Eggman was wanted everyone to vote for him for something. I guess it's like a candidate thing for like the awardee award.
Oh yeah, with the ballot bot.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the last episode, he finally got everything perfect, Eggman, on the big boy and relaunched it. He had all the countermeasures for all the characters this time, except for Styx and her Rock of Justice.
That is a really dumb issue so far.
Oh yeah, if you haven't read through the full thing,
got that.
When you get to the second to the last page, it all makes sense, and that's the most hilarious part.
Yeah, but still, it's a really dumb issue. I'm like, why did I read this?
Yeah, because basically
I'm not saying it's bad. It's just dumb. I'm like, why?
The fact that the Rock actually works is incredible.
Yeah, it did.
It just happens to be by coincidence, a miracle, but it all convinces everybody that the Rock is actually alive in some way.
Yeah.
And so they're all, sad that the Rock's energy has been used up. But of course, she just goes, "Okay, back to the pile with you," in her home and throws it into a big pile of other rocks. Basically confirming that she is in fact insane, and there was nothing special about the rock. It was just a coincidence that it happened to hit the heart of the robot.
Oh my god!
Which I love the fact that the heart of the robot is drawn as a little heart-shaped little box. But yeah, that episode was issue was just okay. Issue 4. I think the third one was the best one. You still get a little bit of mean Amy in issue 4 where she's telling Styx, so if you're not going to be serious, just get out of the way so we can fight and everything. That's the one problem I have is with the Sonic Boom comics is Amy's kind of like a Sally-esque leader of the group, yet she's extremely mean to her friends, kind of.
Yeah.
Oh no!
I don't know. They really should at least brush the characters up a bit, just to be to coincide with the cartoon series.
I think what it is they didn't have enough info at the time on the characters, and they were going. A lot of it felt like it was going off the video game more than the cartoon. In the cartoon, she's much more loving and peaceful person than she is in this.
Yeah, but I think like over time they'll I think they'll have it right.
Yeah, well, I think
then.
the next 4 sets of issues are actually written by some of the show writers, so that's going to be interesting.
Oh, that's good.
And that's about does it for that. One other thing I wanted to bring up is a little short review on the Hori. What's it called? The Hori Battle Pad for the Wii U or the Nintendo Wii. And it's basically, everybody's been trying to get these GameCube controllers and adapters for Smash Brothers, because I guess that's the best way to play Smash Brothers. Yeah. I didn't really notice it myself, so I decided to go ahead and try it out and buy that. And basically, it's a third-party controller that's shaped exactly like a GameCube controller, except the Z button is replaced by an R plus button, and the and there's an L plus button on the other side. But other than that, plays exactly like you would a GameCube controller. It's a little, it still plays like a third-party controller where the buttons are a little clacky and stiff, and it takes a while to break into joystick. But other than that, it works pretty good on Smash Brothers. But it also makes for a decent, instead of being a GameCube controller, it's basically a classic controller that you hook up to the back of your Wiimote. So you can still use it on your old school Wii games.
Mm-hmm.
I tried it on a few Sonic games and such. On Sonic Colors, it's absolutely perfect for it, actually, because the giant A button is for jump. B buttons could be used for drifting and for boost. And I think the R button on top is what's used to press to ignite the color powers. So, yeah, it works pretty good. It works pretty well for that. X is to slide, which is right next to the jump button as well. So it's actually a perfect little controller if you like to play Sonic Colors on that kind of thing. As far as Sonic Unleashed goes, though, it's a total opposite story. It's doesn't work near as good. B button is now used for jumping instead of the A. You got the tiny little B button next to the A. A button is only used for when you do a smash attack where you would normally press X and Y together.
Yeah.
X and Y are okay because they're used for attack. You have to do them alternatively, but since they're close enough together, you could just use your one thumb to hit them. So yeah, it's pretty horrible with Unleashed, but if you got like colors, it's great on that. It's pretty good with Knight's Journey of Dreams. If anybody's dumb enough to play that game, well, it's not that.
I actually played it, and it was kind of okay, I guess.
If you have Knight's Into Dreams on the Saturn, that's a much better game. It doesn't go into a great deal of story that kind of ruins the gameplay.
Yeah, there is a story mode. There's like two kids.
That's the problem. The story mode takes up like 60% of the game when it should be just concentrating on having fun going through the levels itself.
I know. Knights. People were just wondering if Knights is a he or a she.
It's both.
It's
genderless, and it absorbs the gender of whether it absorbs a boy or a girl. When it dualizes, then it becomes a boy or a girl. But otherwise, without anybody inside him, it's genderless.
So it's like genderless, like it's a guy and a girl.
Well, yeah, or it's neither.
Oh God!
I just call it an it.
Yeah, it's an it.
It's no use.
Or a lot of people ask, "What's that?" It's nice.
I know. I like that one. I like the one.
Anyway, I didn't try it on Sonic and it wouldn't work on Sonic and the Secret Rings or anything like that because those I believe are all nunchuck and Wiimote based. Speaking of, have you guys been picking up on the deals for the Wii U where they've been putting out the classic Wii games for $10 a piece?
Not really. I mean, I can't really afford to spend much money. Also, like the Metroid trilogy, like I already have the original. I mean, the physical copy of it.
If you have a physical copy, that makes sense. Like I have Punch Out, so I'm not gonna pay an extra $10 to get Punch Out and fill up my hard drive that I've already done. But like I got Super Mario Galaxy 2 because that was just too big of a bargain for me to pass up.
Oh yeah, I love that game.
And Metroid Prime Trilogy, of course, is great too. And at $10, it's a great way to screw over GameStop because I've heard that they did actually manufacture new copies of that game. I don't know how they worked that out with somebody else. Mm-hmm. But they managed, both that and Xenogears, they managed to manufacture new copies because they were rare at the time and then resell them as used for like $45, $50.
Wow, I bought it for around that price. I mean,
Metroid Prime
it's even
right now, it's still $45 at GameStop, but you can pick it up for $10 right now on your Wii U, and it's worthless.
No, mine is the the collector editions thing. I have the tin case,
that's
the aluminum case.
Totally, got the tin case and everything. But why would you pay $45? For a used copy of Metroid Prime when you can get it for $10 on your system right now.
Right.
Yeah, very nice. Do anyone ever purchase from the Nintendo eShop?
Oh yeah, I've done that several times.
Oh,
same here. Like last month, I actually purchased a DLC for Hyrule Warriors
Yeah.
Which that reminds me, I really need to check because they just recently the one of Majora Mask DLC.
Oh yeah.
I think I haven't even checked.
Yeah,
recently.
I haven't even checked the Nintendo eShop because I know there's some games that I probably want to get, and plus I have like the 32 gig Wii U, so I can download a whole bunch of games.
Yeah, I would.
The deluxe one, right?
Huh?
The deluxe?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
My friend Joshua Miller. He has the 8 gig, and I'm like thinking, dude, you might want to upgrade, you know?
Mine's already filled up with so many Wii and Wii U games when they were dirt cheap, so I'm gonna have to get one of those external hard drives.
Oh wow!
Just hook up with the USB cable because it's getting out of hand. 32 gigabytes is not enough for me.
Oh,
not by a long shot. By the way, in case you guys didn't know, what Club Nintendo is kind of going out. They're gonna close that down. I guess it's September, but as of
no, not September, June.
Oh, in June.
Yeah.
Okay, but this month was the last month they were adding prizes and everything.
No, because the month of January is when you actually register your games or hardware. On 31st, that's the last day for registering the games and hardware. March 31st is when it's the last day for to use the coins. I think. Okay. And then June, by the end of June, that's when you hold on, let me see. I can't remember because... No, not anymore. You can't do service anymore.
Yeah, anyway, if you have a bunch of coins saved up, right now is the time to use them because they opened up a huge catalog of downloadable games and they have some prizes you can get right now.
But it's going to take a while. You know why? Because on just the first day, when I tried to log into my Club Nintendo account... Mm-hmm. It can't load. I can't get into it because there's a lot of people logging into it, so it's a lot of traffic. Huh?
I didn't have a problem today. I think the best thing to do is either do it late at night or early in the morning when people are...
Yeah, because yesterday I was having trouble logging in, and I only managed to use my coins to get the Majora Mask puzzle pieces, jigsaw puzzle. And then this morning, I actually managed to download the Super Smash Brother in the morning.
The original Nintendo 64 one?
The original one. And then when I tried to log in again, I couldn't. It was like way past after a late morning.
I think it's kind of crazy that they have Majora's Mask as a downloadable title on there. When the 3DS version is coming out soon.
Well, yeah, I know because, but I actually have the Majora Mask on the Wii game. I mean, on the Wii. But I never did play it. It was a gift. It was a gift.
One is a lot easier, or a bit easier than the original version of the game, which I didn't really get into because it was just too hard for me. I haven't played it since the N64 days. But yeah, there's a ton of downloadable titles you can get. I have 850 coins on right now, and I don't know what to buy with that. I mean, I was looking at Kid Icarus for 700, but then I'd be left with 150 coins and nothing to buy it with. Where if maybe I re-download or rebuy Super Mario 3D World on the 3DS, I would still have 250 coins for another virtual console.
Yeah, for me, I had, 1,400 coins, something like that, for 30. And I used that to get the Majora Mask jigsaw puzzle, and then, 250 coins for the Super Smash Bros.
Right. Well, the good news is they are at least changed. They're not going to close down, rewards programs completely. They're just changing what kind of rewards or incentives that they're going to include.
Yeah. But yeah, the last day for them to close everything down is at the end of June.
Oh no!
Because for us who actually use Club Nintendo, that's, for example, the yearly status, like for gold and platinum. As for me, I managed to reach platinum. Yay!
Yeah,
Yay!
I didn't manage to do it this year, but I did last year.
Nice.
Like, I was like 80 coins away from it, and like I was like deciding like, well, which one to purchase, and then they provide the list of the coins each game's have, and one of them is the Skylander one, like 80 coins, and I bought it for $20.
Nice.
It just registered. I got my 80 coins there. Like, yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, anyway, I think that's going to do it for us. I mean, now we're just randomly talking about Club Nintendo.
I love Club Nintendo.
I'm gonna miss Club Nintendo.
Yeah.
But hopefully the new program that Nintendo will be having is much more better than Club Nintendo. Hopefully.
Yeah. I have a question. Do you think that Nintendo would, like, use Sonic as one of their games if Sega can't, do it anymore?
If they allow it, yeah, I could see them publishing a classic Sonic game or something in the future, a virtual console game.
Yeah, but unless they buy the rights of Sonic.
Well, it depends. Like I said, they have the publishing rights to publish like Sonic Lost World in Europe, but I don't know if they can.
Right.
I don't know if they can make it part of a Club Nintendo offer or not.
I don't think so.
Yeah. And I remember last year at Comic-Con, these are like a couple years ago, there was a Mario talking box. Like, it was Mario. It was his anniversary. And there
Charles Martinet, that talking box that actually had like Charles Martinet talking to everybody via a camera.
I know. And I'm just wondering if they're going to make a Sonic one, which that would be really cool.
I doubt it. That would be up to Sega, and that costs probably way too much money with what they're going through right now.
Mm-hmm.
No, it would be so cool if they did that, though.
Yeah, I could see poor Roger Craig Smith in a little office with a camera, talking back at everybody. But man, Charles Martinet loves being Mario. He just loves doing that all the time. And if you've seen him, if you followed him on Instagram or what have you, he takes like the Mario and Luigi action figures and the Wario action figures, and when he goes traveling, he takes them with him and makes little mini movies for like 5 or 6 seconds at a time.
Oh my god,
nice!
He's an amazing guy. I added him on Facebook, but he never got my request, so I don't know. Yeah,
check out his Instagram videos; they're hilarious, and they all got Mario and Luigi in them.
Oh my god!
The man just loves being Mario and Luigi.
Does anyone know there's a YouTube username called the Dragon Superman?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he does an amazing voice of Sonic. I used to talk to him all the time.
Does he do like fan videos and such?
Yeah. I think I told you this, Jason. Me and him were like friends on Skype. We would talk all the time, and all of a sudden he removed me. I'm like, okay, is there something I did? You know what I mean? Yeah. And then he made a video and on YouTube one time, and he joined the army. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe he's not going to be online anymore. I don't know.
It could be.
It could be.
No. I do miss talking to him. He was a great voice of Sonic. He used to do fan videos and stuff. Like, he was really good.
All right, well, we are just going on rambling here. Let me go ahead and wrap up the show. I'd like to thank Johara and Angelidia for joining me tonight.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and you could catch, besides this show, Sonic Boomcast, you can catch me on Sonic Talk on SegaBits.com. I do that every month with Alex Peel and GX Echidna, who's got his own podcast called The Spin Dash. And
nice.
You can always catch some of my articles right here on Sonic Stadium or SegaBits.com. And I'm still not up on iTunes because we have an HTML guy on Sega Bits. He knows what he's doing, so he can get Sonic Talk going on iTunes, but I can't get Boomcast because I have no. I'm so sorry. No HTML qualifications whatsoever. I'm horrible at that stuff. That's why I'm just on YouTube right now.
Do you?
Hopefully, as long as you guys are catching on YouTube, comment in the comment section. And thank you very much. And have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.